The 7 heavenly virtues as Roblox developers. There are 7 heavenly virtues according to the great holy man above, and today we'll be deciding which Roblox developer fits each one. Starting with temperance, which is the virtue for moderation and balance. SnakeWorl is someone who comes to mind who has a plethora of games that are different from each other, and he is a very versatile developer for sure. And no, we aren't talking about the game balance because SnakeWorl games are far from balanced. Starting with the game he mainly works on now, ABA, which has been around for almost 6 years. ABA started as a very simplistic ballerina game which hatched onto the basic mechanics that games such as the Anime Cross series was able to pioneer back in the year of 2017. And still to this day, there's no other game that has been able to last as long as ABA in that genre. Even so-called ABA killers like Anime Showdown, which has now died twice and couldn't climb the ABA mountain. SnakeWorl also is majorly known for making big strides with the game Final Stand, which still to this day has people playing it somehow, even though the game is about 8 years old now. No other DBZ game had you be able to explore dynamics, space, and earth all in one game. But no, that's not all. SnakeWorl is also the creator of The Streets, which is basically the original The Hood, which essentially is just GTA on Roblox. It's a completely different game from his usual anime games and just showcases his balanced development profile. He also is making a samurai open world RPG game called Scarlet Moon 2. SnakeWorl is temperance. Now on to patience, which is the ability to endure difficult circumstances that may involve perseverance in the face of delay. I think I'll have to give this to Rell Games. Now, they've been playing for 17 years now on Roblox and started as kids in 2008 who just wanted to make a fun game for them and their friends. It wasn't until 2011 where they made Naruto OA, where they saw some decent success with developing as being one of the pioneers for Naruto games to come. But it wasn't until 2017, nearly 10 years after they started developing, where they really started to see some success that would be significant, and that was Shinobi Life 1. Now, Shinobi Life 1 released and finally gave the Rell brothers their well-deserved fame on the platform after years of hard work. But not only did they show patience here, they also had to face the cash grabs that flooded the platform in 2018 and battle against them with their passion projects like Beyond Beta. The game never released past beta, as they would continue on to try to make other games like Road Peace. Road Peace was riddled with bugs and exploiters, but we would know that this wouldn't make them give up on making another One Piece game in the future. Eventually, their big streak came in 2020, where they released Shinobi Life 2. It was a huge success, reaching over 100k players, and it was one of the most popular games on Roblox. Eventually, Viz Media came to Roblox and saw the game doing amazing and decided to take down the game at its peak for copyright infringement. They were able to work through the stress and revamp Shinobi Life 2 into something that was suitable for the platform, and this of course would be the release of Shindo Life. And Shindo of course went on to be the Rell brothers' biggest success on the platform. Now they are millionaires and are able to spend tons of funds on their upcoming game Rell Seas, which also went through a ton of delays and changes due to the whole game fam copyright situation. The Rell brothers are patient. Now on to charity, which is the voluntary giving of help, typically in the form of money to those in need, in this case Robux. So the only developer who fits this is Hazem. If you don't know already, Hazem is the creator of Please Donate, a game that is literally a charity game where you can donate Robux to people. So Hazem literally is the personification of charity. Please Donate would spark a huge wave of content creators donating to others less fortunate in this game, and it would skyrocket the popularity of this game, and truly was a game that just kept on giving. Even Hazem himself donated over 100 million Robux to his supporters through the game's donation system, with the different effects that would happen when you donated large amounts of Robux. This kept encouraging people to keep donating more and more. Hazem receives only 10% of every donation made in this game, but since the game makes so much Robux, Hazem has easily become one of the richest and most charitable people on the Roblox platform. Hazem actually became so rich that he literally was able to buy an advertisement in Times Square, the marketing capital of the US. Hazem is charity. Now on to diligence, carefulness, and persistent effort or work. I think a lot of Roblox developers do not deserve this at all, but one I do think does is probably Ragoozer and his team behind games like Deepwoken and classics like Road Lineage. I genuinely think that Deepwoken is probably one of, if not the greatest Roblox game of all time. The amount of time and work put into every piece of this game is astonishing for a game on this godforsaken site. The atmosphere, simply put, is ominous but sometimes peaceful. The music composition written by Nactagonis is simply amazing and could arguably be up there with some indie titles like Hollow Knight. Deepwoken has went through a lot of changes since its inception, and from the first Deepwoken Direct uploaded by Infernasu, it was clear that this game was meant to be something special. The game costed only 400 Robux, which for a game with this much content is honestly a steal. Ragoozer and Mage will continue to update Deepwoken and balance it as much as they possibly could. Still is going strong to this day, with even being able to peak at around 30k players in 2024, almost 3 years after the game's initial release launch, which is very impressive and goes to show you what can happen when a game is supported by its development team. Ragoozer and Mage are diligence. Now on to kindness, which is the quality of being generous and considerate. The one dev that comes to mind is FreshFrenchFries, who is the owner of the strongest Battleground. And you might be thinking, how does he fit this? Well, the reason I say this is because of how TSB is designed as a game. The strongest Battlegrounds is a fighting game where you can hop in and pick from 6 free characters and 1 early access character, which usually only costs 300 Robux. And on a platform where gambling systems and pay to win is very prevalent, seeing something like the strongest Battlegrounds still being able to do well, even though it doesn't have tons of game passes exploiting children, it's really refreshing. The game is strictly skill driven, since nothing can really give you an advantage. Some characters are probably better than others, but all have a way of winning against each other once you learn the techs and combos that each character has. And when compared to a game like Battlegrounds, which is very non-considerate to the player, when you have to do hours of tiny task grinding and spinning a very unfair gacha just to have a chance of winning, the strongest Battlegrounds just allows you to pick up and play from the start, and that's why I think FreshFrenchFries deserves kindness. Now on to humility, a modest view or humbleness. One developer that comes to mind is definitely Vetex, one of the greatest developers to hit the Roblox platform. He never flaunts his success, he never declares himself as the best, he just works in silence and always produces some of the most underrated games on the platform, and was the creator of One Piece Golden Age, one of the first actually decent One Piece games on the platform. So he has been around for quite some time and is truly a veteran, but he is mostly known for his Arcane series, games like Arcane Adventures, World of Magic, Arcane Odyssey. All of these games follow a storyline type progression. World of Magic was also an open world game, but instead of it being your go beat this bandit, literally everything was optional, even the storyline that was built into the game. You create your own adventure just by exploring the game and what it had to offer. But World of Magic wasn't even Vetex's best game. I think that has to go to Arcane Odyssey, which is in my opinion one of my favorite Roblox games of all time. It's everything World of Magic had, but cranked up 10 times, and I had never played anything that immersive on Roblox ever. The storyline was incredible, and the many different ways you could play was so much fun. I spent hours just fishing and cooking on the game, so that's how you knew it was special. But let me stop nerding out over it. Vetex is the definition of humility and humbleness. Now on to chastity, also known as purity or innocence. This goes to the developer that is not known for any weird allegations or claims or pedophilia, none of that. Honestly, I have to give this to MyGame43. Now granted, MyGame43 did make one of my least favorite games on Roblox. They made Blox, which is the most popular Roblox game on the platform, albeit the game was originally meant to be a cash grab at first from the developers, but it blew up at a proportion, so the devs had no choice but to stick with it. MyGame43 also made Elemental Battlegrounds, which is definitely in my memory growing up because I used to play it in middle school. Blox itself is very grindy as a game, but they aren't necessarily making anyone have to buy anything, as everything is pretty much obtainable through hours of grinding, although mostly boring. But the Blox developers haven't done too many things wrong while developing their game, or at least to my known knowledge, so they can be chastity. I'd say some of these developers on this list could be classified as any one of these virtues, because there are some good people who make these games, even though there are a lot of developers who are quite frankly just bad people and just want to make money by use of exploiting children. But everyone on this list has done at least some good on the platform, so that's why they are here and that's why they are successful. If you have any other developers that you think could be classified as any one of these virtues, make sure to subscribe and leave it down below in the comments, and I might make a part 2. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.